Darryl in Kentucky. You're on the Glenn Beck program. Hi, Darryl.
Hey, Glenn. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. I just wanted to say that I really love the book, and I think that my favorite part of it is that, you know, even though we can't surrender, like you've said several times, we have to remain civil, because maybe I'm naive in thinking this, but I think that eventually the left will realize they have gone too far. They will step back from the ledge, and if we're civil, if we're there standing strong on our principles, we'll be able to bring them back into the fold and bring the country back together. But if we give in, we do the same thing we're doing. We just help tear the country apart.
You were on the left as well at one point?
I was. I was raised in southern West Virginia. My family were very deep blue Democrats, and we believed that Republicans were just people who took money away from the poor to give to the rich. And, you know, I was a pretty progressive guy in college, and I didn't really start looking at the other side until after 2014. I went to war. I was a soldier in the military. I spent all of 2014 in Afghanistan, leading some of the best men and women I've ever met in my life. And when I came back, my country was completely different. I couldn't figure out what happened. I was no longer welcome on the left as a straight white male veteran. So I had to figure out what happened. I started looking at people that I had mocked, including yourself, in the past. And I actually started reading Roy H. Williams and Michael R. Drew's Pendulum, which you noted in the book. And that really, you know, maybe I'm buying into their theory a little bit too much, but I've seen it firsthand. And I do believe that we have another 5 years of this getting worse before it gets better, but I still believe the dawn is coming.
So do I. It's whether or not we can pull enough people away from the cliff before, I think the year is 2025, where it starts to come back the other direction.
I think that's right. Yeah.
So how can we help people like you? Because I think we need to start defining Democrats. When we say, oh, the Democrats, I think we need to start saying the people in the leadership of the party. Because I don't think, like you, there are Democrats who are good, who love the country, and are finding themselves going, wait a minute, I don't have any place to go. And we have to, and I'm not saying it's in the Republican Party. I'm just saying people need to start being more welcoming to people who are finding themselves on the outs. What should we be aware of that you went through?
I think you should be aware that even though policy and is an area that we may never agree on, that principle is something that we can agree on, that things like individual freedom, things like, not having a government that can control you from, several hundred miles away, that can control every little aspect of your life. So something I talk to my wife and my niece about all the time is that, before President Obama, even though I voted for the guy and I kind of liked what he was selling, the president's name didn't get mentioned at the dinner table every single night at my home when I was growing up. The power that we have given to Washington over the past 10, 20 years is too much. And I'm not really sure what the end state, what the solution for that is, but I think just talking about the things you talked about in the book, the principles that make us all united, our unum, the Bill of Rights, the things that make us all American are what we can unify behind.
So the section of, because I've really struggled with what it is that brought us together, and it's really, or can bring us back together, and it's really so simple when you finally get down to it. It is the Bill of Rights, don't you think?
I agree. I think that you will never find in any other country that I've been in, I've been in several, Africa, Germany, Afghanistan, Romania, you will never find a country that beats itself up over its past as much as America does. We realize that we've done some horrible things, like you said in your read-in and your monologue, but we've also, I think it's something that Dinesh D'Souza said. By recognizing our faults, by admitting to our faults, you have to kind of, in a way, admit to America's moral superiority, because we realize that we've made mistakes and we're trying to fix them.